Page 34 of 368. Rare Earth, Peter D. Ward and Donald Brownlee, 2003. Why complex life is uncommon in the universe. Chapter 1. Why life might be widespread in the universe. The fact that this chain of life existed in the black cold of the deep sea and was utterly independent of sunlight, previously thought to be the font of all Earth's life, has startling ramifications. If life could flourish there, nurtured by a complex chemical process based on geothermal heat, then life could exist under similar conditions on planets far removed from the nurturing light of our parent star, the Sun. Robert Ballard, Explorations. Several miles beneath the warm, life and light-filled surface regions of the S-world's oceans lies much harsher environment, the deep sea floor. Vast regions have little oxygen. There is no light. Much of the sea floor is composed of nutrient-poor sand, mud, or slowly precipitated manganese nodules. Temperature is a fraction above the freezing point. At least 6,000 pounds of water pressure crush each square inch of matter at even average ocean basin depths. Because of these factors, except for small populations of highly specialized creatures that depend for food on the slow rain of detritus from far above, most of the deep ocean bottom is a biological desert, long thought to be virtually lifeless and monotonous terrain. Yet one type of environment found on the bottoms of all of Earth's oceans is neither flat nor sparsely populated. Running in linear ridges extending for thousands of miles along the sea floors are chains of active volcanic vents called deep-sea rifts. These rifts, which are situated along the margins of the great oceanic plates that make up the rocky base of the ocean floor, form undersea mountain chains. Here, in the great depth, darkness, and pressure of the sea, new crust is being created every hour, upwelling from below. These are places where the sea floor literally pulls away from itself, spreads, and in the process creates, in the endless, frigid night of the sea floor, the slow motion of tectonic plate movement known as continental drift. It seems the least hospitable environment on planet Earth. Ironically, it is teeming with life. Amid constant earthquakes, hot magmatic lava wells up from subterranean regions in these rifts, where it encounters frigid sea water. Great gouts of this brimstone are instantly quenched as they meet the cool sea water, producing grotesque, pillow-like shapes as they turn to black rock. It is a place like no other on Earth, a region of unbelievable extremes where 2000 degrees F lava meets 32 degrees F water under a pressure of 400 atmospheres 2 miles beneath the sea. It is a zone of high-energy violence, where torrents of mineralized water flow like rivers out of the underworld, building great columns of metal precipitate from the hellish brew bubbling out of the earth. Yet amid this deep-sea inferno, another and most curious phenomenon exists. Submarine snow. Not the gentle snow that falls on land, but a blizzard of white material that flows out of the submarine fissures and then slowly settles onto the gnarled sea bottom. This snow is actually life, flocculated globs of microbes numbering in the billions and living amid the heat and poison spewing out of the vents. In utter darkness, unseen by any eye until a few humans probed the abyss in tiny, deep-diving submarines, life silently exists and thrives, creating this ethereal snowfall. 1.1. Lovers of the extreme. The environments around the deep ocean volcanic rifts can be described with a single word: extreme. Extreme heat, extreme cold, extreme pressure, darkness and toxic waste waters are conditions seemingly inhospitable to every living thing. Yet over the past 2 decades, oceanographers and biologists who have braved the perils of the long trip to this depth in their small submarines have made stunning discoveries. The finding of bizarre tube worms and clams was completely unexpected, but even this life is conceivable to us, for it exists in the warm waters around the volcanic vents. What was not expected, however, was that life could live not only around, but also amid, the vents. Within these scalding cauldrons of superheated water, a rich diversity of microbial entities grow and thrive at temperatures far too hot for any animal. Yet here, indisputably, is life, in a region previously thought as sterile as Mars. It is just such environments on Earth that may hold the most important clues to the possibility of extraterrestrial life on a place such as Mars. If the harsh hydrothermal vents can harbor life, why not the inhospitable habitats of Mars, or Europa, a moon of Jupiter, or unnumbered planets farther away as well? Life does exist in the hydrothermal vents of the deep sea, just as it does in other seemingly sterile habitats where organisms have recently been discovered, such as deep underground in cold basalt, in sea ice, in hot springs, and in highly acidic pools of water. Because of where they live, the microorganisms in these uninviting places have been dubbed extremobiles, creatures that love the extreme. The discovery that life is abundant and diverse in extreme environments is one of the most important of the astrobiological revolution. It gives us hope that microbial life may be present and even common elsewhere in the solar system and in our galaxy, for many environments on Earth that are now known to bear extremophile life are duplicated on other planets and moons of the solar system. The majority of research on extremophiles has centered on two types of habitats: the undersea hydrothermal vents described above and the terrestrial equivalents of the hydrothermal vents, geysers and hot pools on land. Volcanic processes create both of these habitats, and accordingly, they provide windows into the deep earth. Life is tougher than we thought. If bacteria-like organisms can inhabit high-temperature geysers, they can live deep in Earth's crust in the subterranean blackness and heat of the underworld. The deep ocean hydrothermal vents, and the hot springs and geysers of volcanic regions on land, are places where these previously unknown, deep Earth assemblages of microbes can be observed and sampled. And they may also offer windows into regions where extraterrestrial life may exist on other planets and moons. The first extremophiles were discovered not in deep-sea settings but in the geysers of Yellowstone National Park. There, in the early 1970s, microbiologist Thomas Barak and his colleagues discovered thermophilic extremophiles, microbes capable of tolerating temperatures in excess of 68 degrees C, and they soon thereafter recovered microbes that could live at 88 degrees C. Since then a variety of such extreme heat-loving microbes have been isolated from hot springs at many localities around the world. Until that time it was believed that no life of any sort could live at temperatures much above 68 degrees C, just as it is still believed that no multicellular organisms, such as animals or complex plants, can tolerate temperatures above 58 degrees C. Yet, many hot springs extremophiles thrive in temperatures above 88 degrees C, and some can live in temperatures above that of boiling water, 108 degrees C. In contrast, the majority of bacteria grow best at 20–48 degrees C. Discovery of these hot springs extremophiles inspired the search for similar microbes in the deep ocean hydrothermal settings. The deep-sea vents are characterized by three conditions previously considered deleterious to life: high pressure, high heat, and lack of light. Because of the great pressures encountered deep in the sea, water can be heated well past its boiling point at Earth's surface. The highest temperatures encountered in these environments can exceed 408 degrees C. When this superheated, mineral-rich water hits the near-freezing seawater surrounding the vents, it is rapidly cooled, although extensive zones of water well above 88 degrees C are found around the vents. The submarine hydrothermal vent systems cover enormous lengths of the seafloor and may be one of the most unique habitats on Earth. However, they were virtually unknown before the 1970s because of their remoteness and depth. Since the advent of deep-diving submarines such as Alvine, these habitats have been intensively studied. The water near the vents, once thought too hot for life, is now known to be inhabited by a diversity of microbial life, which appears to provide food for a whole host of larger organisms living around the vents. The abundant microbes thus form the base of a deep-sea food chain that requires neither light nor photosynthesizers such as plants. Most ecosystems we are familiar with have, at the base of their food chain, organisms that take carbon dioxide and light and produce living cells through photosynthesis. Light is thus the energy source that allows growth. Many of the extremophile bacteria have no need for light. They derive their energy from the breakdown of compounds such as hydrogen sulfide and methane, which fuels their metabolism. Furthermore, these organisms evolved early in Earth history, and this suggests that the earliest life on our planet and by inference on other planets as well may be chemically fueled rather than powered by light. The implication is that light may not be a prerequisite for life. Perhaps the most unexpected aspect of these discoveries was that many of the bacteria in these regions not only support, but also demand and thrive on, temperatures above 88 degrees C. One species discovered in the deep-sea hydrothermal vents reproduces best in water at temperatures above 105 degrees C and remains able to reproduce in water as hot as 112 degrees C. Even more startling lovers of extreme heat have recently been found in these environments. In 1993, John Burroughs and Jody Deming of the University of Washington published a paper entitled Deep Sea Smokers: Windows to a Subsurface Biosphere? In this paper, the two oceanographers advanced the idea that the interior of Earth is home to microbes capable of living, under high pressure, at temperatures above that of boiling water as much as 158 degrees C. They called these organisms superthermophilic. This bold prediction was supported when John Parkes of Bristol, England, discovered intact microbes at 169 degrees C in a deep-sea drill core. What is the upper temperature limit for life? Microbiologists now theorize that life may be able to withstand 208 degrees C in high-pressure environments. Although some of them fall within the taxonomic group formerly called bacteria, the majority of these extremophilic microbes belong to the taxonomic group known as archaea. The archaea are biological stalwarts indeed. They thrive in boiling water and live on elements toxic to other life, such as sulfur and hydrogen. The discovery of this major group of living organisms itself precipitated one of the great revolutions in biology, for their existence required a substantial reconfiguring of the time-honored motto we can call the tree of life, the theorized evolutionary pathway leading from the earliest life to the most complex. Page 39.